Welcome to Understanding Irish Muslims. In this episode, I talk to Muslims who have integrated into Irish society through sport, business and charity work. I spend time at Muslim families in their homes and around the dinner table. We hear about the benefits of Sharia finance and speak to a young scientist European champion. But first, I attended an integration day at the Black Pits Mosque, just off Clonbrassil Street in Dublin 8. To improve understanding in the local area, Imam Ishmael decided to hold an open day at the mosque. I went along and decided to get the opinions of the local people who were there.
The mosque here, we're having a get-together to thank the people because Ramadan had just finished, and they said that they were very appreciative of the local community. Were tolerant towards them, even though there wasn't any issue with people.
Originally, I came up here a year ago because I live quite near, and one of the leaders here invited us up to meet a few people. The more you know, the less you fear, sort of stuff.
And what has been the reaction prior to this from the local community towards the mosque in the Black Pits?
To be quite honest, it was mixed.
Mixed.
Quite a few people would be saying, "Oh, they're taking over the place." That'd be one opinion.
Right.
But then the people, like we said, that didn't know them.
Yes.
But they'd have that opinion because they didn't know them.
So do you think days like this would be a good idea?
Yeah, it should be, but I hope there's more.
I knew it existed, but I didn't know much about it. I don't know much about the religion, because I'm a Buddhist.
You're a Buddhist?
All my friends are Buddhist.
Okay, very good. And what are your impressions now after having been here?
Very nice, very nice. I mean, I'd like to know more about the people.
Well, I wouldn't really know an awful lot about Islam, I suppose, or the mosque. I mean, I drive past it practically every day, and I'd see people kind of coming in and out of here, and they always seemed to kind of be very kind of keep themselves to themselves, but very respectful at the same time,
That was a great idea, bringing people in, particularly children, kids, and stuff like that.
Yeah, actually, I might ask the kids now, what do you guys think?
Well, it's very big like this one anyway, and it has big rooms.
Big rooms? Yeah, good.
Upstairs too.
And have you tried any of the food?
Yeah. The food is really nice.
Really?
Yeah.
And is it similar to the kind of food you'd have at home?
A bit similar.
Bit similar, okay. And would you like to try this kind of food again, do you think?
Yeah.
And what did two of you, can I ask you, what did you know about Muslims or Islam before today?
Well, they pray on Fridays. Their main day is pray on Fridays. Well, I knew that they did a different religion and that this was one of their places where they prayed.
On my travels around Ireland, I visited a number of local Muslim businesses. The following are taken from my trips to Cork, Tralee and Athlone. First, I spoke to Dries Belmajdu, originally from Morocco, but he's been living in Ireland since the early 1970s.
Well, here in the English market, I have two shops under the name of Mr. Bell.
Right.
And most of them, one of them sell all ethnic food.
Uh-huh.
That means any food from Thailand, from China, from Pakistan, from India.
Right.
And the next shop, number 2, I have all European food.
Okay.
From snails,
right,
to palm heart, to arboreal rice, to any product, any delicatessen product, or exotic product, European or Asian.
And who were your customers? Are your customers locals? Or
my main customer now are Irish.
Right.
Up to 10 years ago, they were all foreigners, but now the Irish.
Really? Why the change, do you think?
Well, they start traveling.
Right.
And again, they start adventuring and, television involved and traveling and so on.
Right.
And they like to impress now the guest.
Yes.
And their husband.
Right.
And they are improving.
And was it always like that? Did you always have lots of Irish customers from the start?
No, not from the start. When I started 30 years ago, it was very, very hard.
Right.
Mr. Asmat from Afghanistan runs a halal shop in Tralee. And Mariam Yusuf from Nigeria runs Imam Modest Wear in Athlone.
How are you? How are you doing? Good. Okay. So you have a halal shop here in Tralee?
Yeah, it's all halal shop.
All halal?
Money halal.
And how long have you been in Tralee with this business?
About 10 years.
10 years?
No, 1 year.
1 year, excuse me.
Israeli, yeah.
Right, very good. And where are you from yourself?
I'm from Afghanistan.
Afghanistan,
okay.
yeah. And people coming into the shop, are they mainly Muslims, or do you get a mixture of people?
Mixed people coming, Muslim and Irish and European, mixed coming. Yeah,
mixed community coming. Okay, good. Yeah. And what sort of thing? What do you sell? I mean, in the shop?
I sell halal chicken and halal meat and grocery and vegetable, fresh vegetable, Asian vegetable, Indian, Pakistan.
Okay, and what's halal? It's just the meat, is it?
Just the meat is halal, yeah, and chicken, yeah.
And what does halal mean?
I mean halal is we Muslim way we slaughter by self, like. Okay. We do prayer and then we kill them.
Okay, very good. And as you said, you've got customers that would be either Muslim or non-Muslim.
And it's a plus different taste as well. Any Irish person get the meat and he come back is a very nice taste.
What's the difference in the taste?
Because when European people kill the beef or lamb, is a blood inside stuck, and we threw it away. And when we kill, all blood is go away, and it's just clean meat is left. Okay. And it's a different taste, yeah.
Right.
From the African point of view, we love elegant dresses. We love flashy colors. So anything flashy that will make us stand out, that's what we wear.
But these clothes will definitely make you stand out, because I'm looking at a variety of different kinds of blue, green, red, purple.
The colors are general actually, and it depends on individual. Some people want like maybe bright colors, but they still want like maybe blings on the clothes at the same time, so they can go for like a bit dull color, maybe like the navy blue or the black. But this one thing about them is they still come with blings.
Okay, the bling is important.
The blings are important. And if you're the type that love maybe shout, colors that shouts, so they can go for like yellow, red, or the fuchsia pink over there. So anyone, there's something that suits everyone here generally.
Yeah. You said recently there was an Irish woman who bought one off you. She was going to a wedding.
Yeah, she was going to a wedding in Nigeria, and she was looking for something to wear. Like, she really wants to stand out. So she came for one of this. It's in color green and silver.
Okay.
Fortunately, I was telling her that is Nigerian flag color.
Okay.
And she didn't even know, and she was so happy that, that's what I want.
Having met local Muslim business people, it's time to look at Muslim global business, and in particular Sharia finance. Mr. Noel Lourdes of Amani Advisors, an Islamic financial advisory company in Dublin, explains what Sharia finance is.
What Sharia finance tries to do is that it tries to effectively put a huge amount of responsibility on the financier to say, look, if you're going to give someone capital, make sure you fully understand what you're getting into, so that number one, there is no misunderstandings, and number two, that you get properly remunerated for the risk you're taking. And for the entrepreneur, I suppose pretty much they're not, there's no lender-borrower relationship, there's more of a partnership, a business partnership relationship. So fundamentally that's the difference in Sharia finance and conventional financing.
John King, whose newspaper article, Financial Shock Would Never Have Happened Under Sharia, outlines how Sharia finance could have saved the Irish economy.
Well, I'm actually very confident that that's the case. I mean, I think I'm certainly confident that that is the case, because quite simply the things that were done were so far off any kind of ethical radar that I don't think any Sharia board would ever have approved it. Now, what the article doesn't address, and which is a question which no doubt could be discussed, and that is, obviously there are huge downsides to the kind of financial markets that we have, and we've seen this boom and bust and all of that kind of thing. There are also tremendous upsides. I mean, it has to be said, and the financial markets that we have, are very effective for people wanting to raise money, wanting to move money around the place. So I'm not necessarily saying that. I'm not saying that under a Sharia system everything would be rosy, that we could have everything that we have, the good parts but not the bad parts. I am saying that some of those bad parts wouldn't exist under a Sharia system, but I'm not necessarily saying that a Sharia system would be overall a better system.
To meet Muslims in their family homes, I spent an evening with the Al-Bahyari family from Palestine. They told me about their experiences here, how important Palestine is to them, and also how they socialise.
Like what? What do you mean by culture?
Changing, like language change, the way of living. Born in Qatar and lived in Qatar, never come across pubs and and parties and
yeah,
and obviously interaction with people was a bit difficult. You used to talk to people in your own language and probably same interests. But
and did you have much English before you came here?
Not much English, no.
Okay.
No. That was another barrier, obviously. It took a while, really, to get adjusted. At that time, the Muslims were mostly students, doctors, all educated mostly.
Right.
And I think their mentality would be different from now, to be honest.
There's different Muslims here today, is it?
Yeah, I think since people or refugees came during the boom, the Celtic Tiger, and some are not really educated.
Right.
And I think their behaviour is it's not representative.
I've been facing racism many times, actually.
Okay, what have you experienced?
Well, it's mainly in town. Like when I'm walking through town with my friends, sometimes. Like once I was walking by myself, and these two guys ran up and pulled my scarf, like they were trying to pull it off or something. And I was just kind of like, who do you think you are? And they just started laughing at me. And I was alone, so I couldn't really do much because they were like 3 of them or something. And like, I have a number of friends who wear the scarf as well, and we all go out like together. And it actually happened to my friend as well. Her scarf got pulled off by a man, but he was wearing a suit, so it was kind of strange. Recently, my friends experienced the same thing, and they were actually called terrorists. And they actually start touching my friends, like touching their arm, and like my friend was like, "Don't touch me," and they were just like, "Oh, is there a bomb under your scarf and stuff?" And my friends were like trying to go home, and it's like we don't want to hear that, because they were born in Ireland as well, so it's like we're basically Irish. Like especially the media, I think, have a big deal with it, because they always say like if something attack happens and a Muslim did it, they'd be like, "Oh, a Muslim man did this," instead of saying an American citizen or a man did this.
Yeah.
But you never see the media say, for example, like a Christian man just exploded the building or something.
I've been here myself 25 years in this country. I can't remember any incident I had for racism, but people used to see me, I think, as a sister and as a nun. And I had few incidents when people stopped me and bless us, sister, and they will, do their prayers.
I've never actually experienced any racism.
Okay.
I think because boys, they don't show they're Muslims or not. And
right.
my children, as you see, they're fair skin and bright eyes.
Yeah,
so
people generally don't know I'm Muslim until they actually talk to me. The main thing is just the social thing with everyone whenever they want to hang out or whatever, they usually drink, and I can't do that. Like, it's against my religion, so that's the only thing really. Like, you don't really notice any other differences.
Or in Ramadan when they're kind of like, why aren't you eating?
Yeah.
Ramadan.
Who's that? Oh yeah.
Some of them are very respectful about Ramadan, but like sometimes they joke around.
Yeah, they're like, yum, and they eat in front of us. And
Yeah.
you're like, oh, don't you want some? And I'm like, no, I'm fasting. But it's funny, like they're joking. Yeah, it's funny. It's actually, some of the questions are actually funny that you get, because like some people ask me like, do you like sleep in your scarf? Do you like
shower in your
scarf?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I only wear it when I go out. Like, and they're like, do you always wear it? Like, do you not like go out like clubbing without wearing it or something? And I'm just like, no, it's like I wear it. Like, means I wear it. It's kind of funny.
Yeah.
Before the junior cert, people would just ask me questions about my religion. They'd be like, "Well, what's this?" And then sometimes I'd even get it wrong.
Yeah.
They'd get it right. And then be like, "Oh, what kind of a Muslim are you?" It's funny. Are women allowed to leave the house, or all this kind of absurd stuff? And I find it kind of irritating, because like it's disrespectful to women, and just the fact that such a small minority of Muslims actually follow such odd customs,
Okay. Are they in your family in the West Bank or in Gaza?
Yeah, in Gaza.
Both. West Bank.
Yeah, West Bank, yeah.
Okay.
So it's kind of, whenever something happens, it kind of affects our lives seriously.
Yeah.
Like whenever like an attack happens in Gaza, like we'd be really upset, and like my mom would like sit at TV like all day and call her sisters and everything. So it's like tragic when something happens,
Many Irish adults I know are all pro-Palestine because I mean the situation it's just terrible, and in a way it's
similar
to what happened in Ireland when the British started the implantations. You know, in Ireland it's similar to that.
Which is a very likely reason that the Irish would sympathise with the cause.
Yeah, they're very supportive.
And did that when people talk about things like the one state, two state solution, is that?
I don't think that
the two state solution is dead by now because Israel are not respecting any of the agreements and look at the settlements. They're still
they've received several warnings from the UN to stop the settlements. But
they take land. They're still taking land.
Yeah, they actually get a letter at their house saying you have a week to evacuate, otherwise we're going to destroy the home with you in it. So. You have no choice but to leave. So
where can young people go at night if they're not going to somewhere that's alcohol based?
Yeah, cinema. You can go to cinema or to the to each other's houses.
Okay.
And we don't go with town. Town's open late sometimes. We go to play pool or something or.
Nothing would then usually
stay late. No, not very late. If I am going late, it's usually in the summer, and the sun's still out and stuff. You go to the beach, actually, sometimes when the weather's nice.
Okay.
I went to the beach 5 times, the
beach, park, stuff like that, public places like that.
Right.
Yeah, we find a way to have fun, so.
Yeah.
I know, I don't like staying home, really. I just I prefer going out, really.
Right,
so I spend most of my time out when I can, but, because of leaving certain education and all that. Being fairly busy with study.
He's out all the time.
All the time, right.
Sometimes I forgot your face, Abdullah, will you?
And how about yourself then?
Photography,
yeah.
Photography, yeah. I love photography and I found myself in it. So whenever I want to just have my time, I just go and take photos. Usually they don't like to accompany me because I take ages taking photos. If we're going out, they say, not the camera with you, no. But photography is my hobby.
And who is that? You do it for yourself or?
I do it for myself.
Okay.
Yeah. And of course, for all my activism things, I do lots of photography. I'm the photographer for them, official photographer, kind of for the IPSC and the Irish Anti-War movement.
Okay.
What's actually really great is I just remembered something. Whenever I go out with my friends, we want to eat food. If it's in a plate like an Irish restaurant, and then we'd ask them oh, can you please can you make us food that's good for us, halal and stuff? And they'd actually be more than helpful, And,
really?
Yeah, it's actually really nice.
Restaurants or ordinary restaurants?
Like in ECD or normal restaurants, in town. There's actually halal restaurants.
I also spent time with the Shaheen family from Turkey, where we sat around the dinner table, ate typical Turkish food, discussed religion and their lives in their new country.
So we're bilingual, so we try to speak Turkish, English mixed.
Okay.
Normally we were speaking only Turkish with the kids at home. But once they started school, so they learned English as well, So now we're doing mixed.
Right. And do you speak much Arabic, or do you speak any Arabic?
No. I mean, just for praying. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Not in a daily life.
Yeah.
But we know the verses from Quran, for example, and we must perform them during prayers.
Okay.
We must say them. And they're all Arabic.
Yeah.
That means prayers must be performed in Arabic language. Okay.
الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح قد قام الصلاة قد قام الصلاة الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله
الله أكبر الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين. When we start our dinner or any kind of food, we say Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. It means I start with the name of God. In fact, not only food, but
whatever you do.
And when you say that, seriously, Allah makes it easy and makes it good for us. Once we finish, for example, our food, we say it's easy again. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah means we are thankful to God. Well, thanks God again. My wife is a good cook,
Yeah.
So this is really important,
And I don't know. It's hard to say that. What's the Turkish food like?
Yeah.
Oh, you are.
Because we have a lot of variety in our food.
Halal meat. It's really delicious.
This is delicious.
Really, why? Because when you look at other meat, for example, you can see still blood on it. But halal meat, for example, once you slaughter the animal, the blood must be really out of the veins.
Yeah.
So that means there's no blood left. So when you cook it, for example, it's really, really delicious.
Yeah.
They still very hard to find.
Really?
Yeah. No, they're still. Not they still.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can correct me.
He doesn't like English, but he's correcting.
Yeah.
He's my teacher.
That's a vegetable there, is it?
It's eggplant.
Oh, it's eggplant, is it?
Yes,
Okay.
Aubergine.
Okay.
The big
There's
one
also
is
pepper as
purple
well.
one.
Yeah.
Green pepper.
Okay.
You have green pepper, the onions,
Tomatoes.
you have tomato.
Yeah.
It's a very similar food, but just the way it's cooked is incredible.
Yeah.
It's really
Tastes different,
fantastic.
yeah.
Oh,
Tastes
yeah.
different,
Dua Morsi and Salma Sharawi from Egypt have been in Ireland for 15 years and are part of a group called Muslim Women Together. They're very much involved in the community in Dublin 15 and do a lot of great work for local charities.
We are now Irish citizens. This is second home for us, honestly. We like this country and we have loads of friends now Irish. Before that charity party and now double after the charities party. And that's what we're looking for, the integration, the coexist, but not melting in the Irish society, coexist.
When we first came here in Ireland, it was Dua's idea to start like a women's group here, and we called it Muslim Women Together. And its main purpose was like meeting Irish people, meeting Irish women, giving back to the community by doing charity parties for different charities here. For example, hospitals, charities, Alzheimer's Society. We always do 1 or 2 charity parties per year. And we always dedicate this to maybe disabled children's schools, cancer research, the Crumlin Hospital for the cancer for the children, things like that. The units of the Woodlands units in Blanchardstown for the old people.
Okay.
It's things like that. Yeah. Every year we try to do a different charity, 1 or 2 every year. And this helps us, to meet more Irish people, to actually make more friends with them.
Dr. Chris Ure has studied Christian theology and has worked in the field of Christian-Muslim relations since 1986. He gave me his view on how well Muslims have integrated into Irish society.
We've now got second and third generation Irish Muslim people. Young people who were born here, who have grown up here and who are raising their families here. They are totally at home in the Irish society, they are Irish citizens, they command both Irish languages, therefore they will engage much more within society, and I would expect that to increase and improve in the future.
This idea of speaking Irish was backed up by this young Muslim, Mohammed El Habash, who has lived in Ireland since the age of 2. He also spent a large part of his teens playing hurling in secondary school here.
Yeah, tá Mr. Cartgilga Flusach, ach ní bheith Mr. Kind Askelga Trivlian.
Mohammed is not the only young Irish Muslim to participate in Irish sports. Musa Patel, born in Dublin of South African parents, plays Gaelic football for St. Olave's. He tells us how and why he first got into GAA.
To keep us active and to make us use our time, my mother put us into sports. So she put us into Gaelic and hurling. I started playing Gaelic football about 4 years old. I started playing Gaelic and hurling from that age. It's kind of funny because usually me and my brother were both playing. My brother's younger than me. And growing up, especially in the early years, we'd be like the only brown people in the league. So, but it wasn't an incident. I mean, I had a wonderful coach. He was always very nice. And the players they never saw colour in you. You're just another person in the other team. Yeah, everyone's working together to try to do their best to win the match or win the league. Gaelic in particular, I like the style of the sport. I mean, if you're comparing it to rugby, the sport itself is more fluid. So there's more running involved. There's more flexibility in the sport. Like rugby is quite start and stop.
Zayn Mohammed, also of South African origin, plays the unique sport of indoor wheelchair hurling. He tells me about this sport.
I was born with spina bifida and hydrocephalus, so I used to be able to walk, but as I got older, maybe more about the age of 10 or 11, I found it more difficult to walk. Yeah. So eventually, over the time, I became a regular wheelchair user. One of the main things is the wheelchair hurling. My school had a wheelchair hurling team. We were part of this whole school league, if you like, and we played games on a regular basis, and we competed against each other, and I got involved in that. I think at the age of 15, or 1 year after I started school. There'd be a few differences in that the goal, we only use goals. We don't use points. The point system. So there's five players per team, and all the players have to be in a wheelchair except for the goalkeeper. So the goalkeeper can be a walker, but he would have some sort of physical disability.
Zia Rafiq, nephew of Cher Rafiq, who built the first ever mosque in Ireland in Ballyhonus, County Mayo, also played some football and hurling in Mayo.
I started like under 14, and I kept on playing under 21. And I even played a couple of matches for a senior team for Ballyhonus, and even played a match for Mayo.
Did you?
Yes.
The senior team?
Yeah. We got like at least 10 people at the moment who play for GA, like Muslim people, and they're all good hurlers. There's one or two guys who plays Gaelic as well.
I spoke to Abdussalam Abubakar, European Young Scientist winner in 2007. He told me a bit more about his project and what it meant to win it for Ireland.
So I had the honour to represent Ireland in Europe. It was held in Valencia. So the ideas were very classical, in a sense of mathematical, like classics. So it's not really like really hard maths. So it's something really really look nice in the eye anyway, in my eyes. So my project was based on encryption.
Okay.
So it was showing a weaknesses in a specific type of encryption called RSA.
Okay.
That work was done before, so I was basing my work on someone else's work. So I was extending someone's work, being over there, different environment, being around people who kind of take projects and do this kind of work.
Yeah.
It just inspires you and encourages you to take part in it. I came top as well over there, so it was like looking back now, time flies. It was a privilege anyway to come top in Europe.
Here's from Maggie Al-Jomani. Told me why she got into rugby and what it does for her as a Muslim.
It's kind of like if you're stressed or like any of that stuff, all you need is like one match. You kind of release all that pent up energy that you have, instead of putting it out in a mean way towards someone else. Because when you're stressed, you don't realise how you take out your stressedness on people.
Right.
So it's better to kind of take it out on the pitch.
And as you wear the hijab, how does that work for when you play rugby?
At the beginning it was such a pain because it constantly fall off or kind of be pulled away or whatever. But
do you wear a particular one for rugby?
A scrum cap, yeah. You just you just tie your hair back and kind of it's like a much smaller hijab that you just kind of wrap around your head, kind of just to keep the hair in, and you put your scrum cap on and you're good to go.
Does playing rugby in any way interfere with your religion, or is any crossover or anything like that? No.
I don't think it does. I think it's this is what I tell myself to keep myself happy. It's kind of, I think it helps me be more religious, because in Islam you're not meant to do things that affect your health. They're to hurt you in your health. So like smoking and drinking, they're bad for your health, so they're haram. You're not like they're forbidden. So sports and fitness and all helps your health. So what I say is that if it helps your health, I'm kind of doing something Muslim-y, and I'm being a good Muslim. So I'm helping myself, helping my health, helping God. There you go.
This series was produced and researched by Peter Kearney. It was edited by Peter Kearney and Alan Weldon. I'd like to thank everybody who took part in the making of this series. In particular, I'd like to thank all those who gave me their time and shared their experience. I hope the experience they shared has taken you a step closer to understanding Irish Muslims.